Good afternoon and welcome. My name is Muhammad Daffa Raihan Santosa. My NRP numbers is 0421 1941 000055. And at this opportunity, I would like to talk about the ship management. Sorry. So first of all, before we go ahead into the presentation, I would like to talk about the outline of the whole presentation. So the first is we're going to discuss about what is a ship management and whole is in a whole, and then the models of the ship, the type of ship management itself, and then there's the role of ship management in the whole cycle of a shipping process, and then there's the marketing in ship management because it's a service is obviously needs to be marketed, advertised, so people would know about it and will has a high likely to choose that services. And then there's the relations in ship management industry. This is basically the relation between the firms or the seller or the buyer in the whole industries. And then there's the ship management for a cruise ship as well. And then we move to the quality of a ship's personnel, which is the crew or anything that the operator of the ship itself. And then the last one is the technological revolution in the whole industries. So first of all, like I mentioned, we can talk about the ship management. So what is a ship management itself? So basically, according to Frankel Ernst, he basically he said that the ship management is a form of is a service or a product, is a form of service that manages all the things regarding a vessel. Might it be the voyage itself, technical aspect around the voyage, like the fuel or the crew, the people who operate them, or even the bureaucratic matters such as the papers regarding the voyage, the paper regarding the ship's existence, or basically the red tape or the bureaucracy, the papers regarding the whole existence of the ship and the voyage itself. And in the whole ship management process, even though the whole ship is processed by the ship management company that offers the ship management services, the whole thing, the ship and the ship as an entity is still rightfully owned by the original owner. So the ship management company only manages and sort of run the whole process of shipping and or the process of the vessel itself. And yeah, so the next is the benefits of a ship management for the ship owners, obviously the who uses the ship management services. Well, obviously because whoever that advertise themselves to do some ship managing, then obviously they have an expertise. They know what they're doing. They know who or the people it involves around it. So uh, they're the expert around this whole thing. So whoever the owners is, they don't need to be worried, and they don't have to sort of invest more in people or in another division in the company to specifically managing the ships. So according to Frankel Ernst as well, to put it simply, the benefits for ship owners who uses the ship management product is they basically have a better efficiency of the entire fleet of the ships, and then the expenditure is obviously going to be minimalized because everything is so well efficient. They are whoever do it, so they done it multiple times. They know what they're doing, and everything is well documented. So whenever we need to know something about what there we know where to look and what to look, and also this also lead to the reduction of the risk of having an unprecedented events. Yes, and next there are the main or the types of services in the ship management product itself. So basically, the ship management covers a lot of things, and some of these are there are papers, there are the one that directly correlates with the ship's activity on the ship existence, and those are that only probably like the marketing or something that not directly related to the main service, but still part of the whole ship management. So basically, the whole thing is divided into three. First is the full management. It's basically the main thing, the ship and everything around it, like the people, the crew of the ship, and then the ship needs as well, like the maintenance or just the overall supply of what the vessel needs regarding its physical aspect, such as the engine or the fuel, whatever stuff like that. Yeah, as you can see on the picture on the left, there are the an activity of ship repairing, and obviously is categorized into the technical management under the full management of the whole ship management services division. And then there's also the commercial management, which manages the, I think, commercial related to the whole business. And the last one is the ancillary. Then there's the model of ship management itself, according to LLP in 1998. So basically, there is the whole thing is divided into two. There are traditional one is, well, according to, or just according to its name, it's traditional. It's basically just manages, everything is done by the one company, on the owner company, and all the task is done by division inside it. But the second one, alternative, it's slightly different. Even though basically the task is still tasked to one company, the company asks someone else to do those jobs for them. So they don't use the company or the resources or manpower that the original company has. And like I said, outsourcing itself, it's basically a way to finish a job without using your own manpower, your own resources, stuff like that. And the benefits is because someone has got to do it for you. You don't have to worry about it, and you don't have to sort of create someone that are capable of doing those jobs. You just basically pay someone else that are definitely capable to do the job to do it for you. And it usually happen to companies that have expanded too large or too big. It's basically they bit more than what they can chew, so they can't finish the whole thing by themselves anymore. The example is what's shown in most Greek ship owning firms. According to John King in the book of Third Party Ship Management, a Greek perspective, into 2003. At first, most of these Greek ship owning firms are the only managers, though they're old. They are old. They founded in 1700, 1800-ish, and they only manages Greece ships, and they're also run by basically family, run by family. So when the head of the director dies, it's usually succeeded by his offspring or related family members. And the whole thing is managed by itself. The all tasks is done by all the divisions inside that company. But the current state in modern days, this most of the Greek ship owners firm, or they not just manages things that in that the ships that are based on Greece, but they are also manages things that ships that are outside of Greece, like basically worldwide. So they, in the end, they got overwhelmed by the amount of work that needed to be done. So they resorted to outsourcing some of the tasks so they can still focus on the main thing that they wanted to do, that they can do, that they used to do, but they still need to. They still got this new task to be done effectively and yeah, well, effective without compromising any performance or even using their own resources and manpower. And then there's the selection of a third party, because you can just use it randomly. You need to have a good research to determine whether it is according to what you need, or is it not. So basically, according to Potis Panedis again, in 2002, basically from in every sort of job that's done, there is a gap between the result, that is the final result of the job, and there's the customer expectation, and it's the result are usually lower than the customer expectation. And this gap is the uses of research is to know that the company can actually able to do complete the task that we ask them to do. So the gap won't be that huge. So we won't be disappointed as much. And then there's the role of ship management is shipping operation, because obviously when the goods need to be transported trans trans during by sea or transoceanic, they obviously they use a ship, and this is where the whole shipping operation, shipping management thing sort of revolves. They manages the part during this ocean-based transportation. Then obviously there's marketing in shipping management, because well, in essence, the shipping management is what is it? It's a product, obviously, and it's a product is a way of a company to earn money and to earn revenue, and obviously they need to market this product so people know that that's why marketing is used. So as you can see in the left, this marketing doesn't have to be directly related to the main thing that they are actually providing services. Just a way to let other people know that they exist and aware of their existence, and just so it's overall know that aware of their name, like the example in photo. I'm sorry. Example in the photo, the Anglo-Eastern company. They're holding some sort of a ceremony for a new office, and holding a public some sort of a PR event, even though it doesn't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Even though it doesn't really connected to their main ship management services, it's still a good way to market your name, your services. Other people would know your name, just basically aware of your existence, like I said. And of course, there's the steps of the whole shipping marketing itself. So obviously it's marketing, it's a process. You need to do it sequentially, you need to do it accordingly. So basically everything needs to be done from start to finish, step by step. And if one of these steps is sort of forgotten or just skipped, usually the end result is won't be as maximum or as good as we would like it to be. Stuff like that is just to make sure that the final result is as effective as it can possibly be. So the first step of this marketing itself is first is diagnosis. Is basically some sort of a research, or just research gathering, information gathering, just to know that exactly what to who are you marketing your product to, and who is likely to actually use those product or the services that you actually promote or market it. And then there's the planning. It's more of a, after you found the demographic that you wanted to sort of market your product, you sort of plan the exact details on how you wanted to promote those, like just the overall the details, the exact details of how exactly you want to approach the marketing, or to some of these people that you already found in the diagnosis. And then when you already did that, you organize the whole thing to sort of to have a better implemented, not implemented, so just to realize those planning into the real world, basically assigning people who do what, basically. So yeah, it's basically who assigning people to what task they're doing. And then there's the implementation, or it's basically once you have assigned which people, someone who do which task, you implement this by start acting and start doing those tasks that people are asked to. Basically, this is the starting of the action. So this is where the whole action in the real world commands begin. And once you have started those, you went into the controlling bit, which is basically this the control that the whole thing that is happening around you. This the part of the implementation is according to what you have planned according to in the previous steps. Then there is the importance of a good relation in the whole ship, ship management things. So first things, several things need to be considered. A vessel, a ship is well, it's obviously it's very expensive, and the maintenance also it's need a lot of maintenance, and it does not cost cheap to do some of this maintenance. And Also, when it comes to scheduling, both maintenance or the overall voyage, the whole thing is very sensitive. So whoever does the whole management process needs to know that it is not it's nothing to it's not something to be overlooked or like downplay. It's something that you have to actually put your heart and soul into it, because well, it's very sensitive, since it's cost quite a lot. So if there's any problem or any issues, the consequences could be huge, and whoever owns it could potentially lose quite a lot of money if anything goes wrong. That's why the management needs to be done by someone who actually are capable of doing so, and someone who actually has experience of doing so, at least. Now, the whole thing is basically on based on trust. The whole relation between the ship owners and the management and the ship management company. I'm sorry. So basically, how they gain their trust, or they trust each other is well, one way to know it is by a company track record. So first of all, a company that doesn't know, like a ship owner doesn't who are newly sort of exposed to a ship management company, they will see them through their history, their track record, how the performance throughout the whole lifetime, and also how their sort of interaction between their previous customer and also the customer's sort of reaction or opinion on them. Then there's the personal and direct experience as well. This is more of a once you have known, well, basically the past, someone that you have already used in the past. They already basically how you, let's say, how you experience or your past relation with these people. If they're good, you know it, or if they're bad, you will know it based on yourself. So the only way to judge it is by you or the ship owners themselves, that they're going to reuse the ship management itself. And then there's the non-technical aspect. If we've talked about all the technical aspects before. This one is not technical, not exactly technical. Uh, it's one way to also improve it. This outside the main offer services. It's uh, more of a humane approach, like their interaction, their customer support, basically, like public relation, public image, and process the overall attitude between the ship owners and the ship management company itself. So yeah, it's basically the most human aspects, their direct human to human contact, human to human relation. Yeah, just overall like how one person is having attitude with another person. This is the non-technical bit. And then there's also the improving relation and competitiveness for an outsource model. So basically, in an outsource model, you obviously use someone else to do it, because well, you don't have the capability to do it yourself. But if you have like a good what is it, sort of a good relation with this outsourced company, they might give you the US in the ship management may give ship management sort of a reduced price, which can lead to the overall reduction of the whole price. So the ship management company can give us a lower price. We can satisfy the ship owners more, so they can have a better relation, because the ship owners feels like feels like they just being just felt like the ship management is being nice because they give a cheaper price. And then there's ship management for a cruise ship. So not even though it may seem that cruise ship is not as it's not as wide, it's not as boom, it's not as viable as a merchant ship, because well, merchant ship still dominates the whole shipping lane, obviously. It's still not a bad business practice, cruise ships, but on a ship management aspects, there are still several things that need to be changed, or aspects that are different with they need to be managed different from the merchant vessel. Well, first of all, in terms of cargo, a merchant vessel basically just it manages the whole basically in an inanimate object, they're a dead object, so it doesn't matter where you put it. I mean, as long as it is safely contained, you just put, as long as there's space, you just put it there. But on a cruise ship, you don't. You basically need to run a hotel just on a boat. So the whole management aspect probably needed to be closely related more to a hotel management. And when it comes to the time on the waters, merchant vessels tend to spend the least amount of time possible on the water, because well, they need to be they need to move the goods as effectively as quickly as possible, so this will be effective. But on a cruise ship, they don't really have to do they don't really need to move those goods as quickly as possible. It's basically it depends on how the management want them to be. So yeah, the whole thing is basically different because the voyage itself is the main attraction. So the cargo that is being moved has no problem about the duration during the voyage itself. This is taken from Kai Wang, Xuan Wang, and Luzhen and Xiaobu in the book of Cruise Shipping Review, Operations Planning and Research Opportunities, brought in 2016. And these are also the aspects that are the main aspects, many different aspects that are different with the merchant vessel. So basically the fleet management, yeah, just basically the whole managing the entire fleet. And then the ship deployment. This is where the thing is different with the merchant. Ship deployment, you need to know where to put the ship itself. You need to know the exact market that a cruise ship actually usually take, and there's the itinerary design. Is basically the exact port they will where they will embark all those people, or they will disembark all that of those people that have getting before. And also the detailed service planning is basically the just how long they will be staying on those ports, and what would they do there, and also sort of create a backup plan whenever the port is unavailable, so the whole cruise will still will keep going. Sorry, and then there's a personal management. Well, I mean, as you can, as we know, the whole ship, almost every ship, is they are operated by people, human crew, because they're not able to be operated by computer entirely, so they still need to use people. The problem is some of these people are not usually, nowadays at least, most of them doesn't really consider the whole thing as the main job. They're more of a stepping stone, so they leave quite rather quickly, and which leave quite a gap in a skilled worker. They yeah, just quite leave a gap, and yeah, and the solution is this is to sort of give a better quality to some of these crew, so they will understand more about the issue, about the task they will need to do. They will not get overwhelmed. They're still able to do all those tasks accordingly and have no problem. So there won't be any shortage in the whole skilled crew as well. This is taken from Irina Gerasimova in the book of How to Provide the Quality Training of Shipboard Personnel, written in 2013. Yes, this and what Slater wrote in his book of the Fourth Service, Merchantmen at War, 1939 to 45, that was written in 1995, especially glorifies the overall atmosphere of the sea. So yeah, the aesthetics of the sea itself it plays a huge role in the life of the crew. So because it's really what the atmosphere is, their surroundings, what surrounds them. So it's really it's the serenity, the calm, the peace is also what attracts them to go to the sea. So this is a major sort of factor that pushes people into becoming a ship's crew. This is mentioned in the book, created by John Griffiths and Katie Mack, 2007, called "Going to the Sea: Co-creating the Aesthetics Dimension of Shipboard Organization Life." Yes, next, and we move to the human capital, which is basically the quality of the human or the crew on board the ship itself. So this is a good way to know that whether the people or the human that we want to ask them to do the task is actually capable or not. This is measured by some of the aspects such as the health and safety, the training of the person has, the experience, how much of experience they still got, then the skills they possess, and also his background or his education. Is mentioned by Ramazan Yildiz and Ozkan in 2018 in a book called Investigating the Human Capital Within the Scope of Global Container Liner. And then they also mentioned the human capital in shipping sector. Well, because considering some of the aspects such as the limited area on board the ship, it's very hazardous as well, and very isolated because you're in the middle of the sea almost all the time, and you have to deal basically with the same people, and you have to do all those things for a prolonged amount of time. So if you're not suited for this kind of things, so that's sort of environment, you need to know it from the beginning, so you don't have to do it, because once you do it, you're gonna have to stay for quite a while, and you cannot be replaced during those whole voyage. So yeah, it is a good idea to know that whether the person is capable of doing those of working under those environment during this whole time. And then there's the social theory or the hierarchy of the crew or the shipboard structure. So basically, just like everything else, the whole thing needs to be there's a hierarchy of everything. There's the supervisors and the subordinates of the supervisor. And supervisor task is to make sure that the subordinates I'm sorry, subordinates actually do the task that they were assigned to. But the way this is enforced, there are two ways they can go wrong. If they enforce too hard, you can create just basically uh, a toxic environment that is not good for everyone on board. But if you don't enforce it as well, this is can potentially damaging, because there are no coordination, no one knows what to do. There's no one to enforce people to doing what task. So everything is just so loose and unorganized. It can also create a very incompetent sort of working procedures. So both is not good. Everything needs to be keep maintained at a good level. And then we move to the technological revolution. Yes, as in illustrated, there's a first train is powered by a steam engine, and then they found a better way to propel them with a diesel engine, and then they finally found a better method of the propulsion, which is a electrical engine, so that electrical current to power the motors. So what this shows is basically the whole everything. Technology is always improving. It is our job to know well, obviously want them to invent them, and also to adapt whenever a new technology comes or a new innovation comes in town. And in ships management industries, obviously the ship as a whole, the ship industry, I mean shipping vessel technology needs, there also there's a innovation, there is a revolution. That is why the 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 company who manages the whole ship itself needed to aware of this changes and innovations, so they will not get left behind. Some of the aspects that are needed to people need to the ship management need to know are mainly the ship's technical technology and the whole company's organizing, and the role of vessel in the global market as well, and then the integration of between mode of transportation, and then also the traffic of the world shipping lane traffic, and then the freedom of trade condition of each country or even the whole world depending on them, and then also the whole bureaucracy changes. These the ones that's more volatile, because yeah, you never know, anything can change. And lastly is what people really know about or really concerned about today is the environment, because ships produce quite a lot of carbon, and some people doesn't really like that. So yeah, probably an innovation is coming soon, maybe. And yeah, this is also mentioned by Panaides Potis and Kevin Cullinane in the 2002 book called The Vertical Disintegration of Ship Management. And then we move to the computers in ship management. So talking about a revolution, we can't really talk too much about far about computers, but thing is, computers suffers a lot of disadvantage. It has a lot of bugs. It can has system failures. Just basically a lot of problems regarding the whole things. It's volatile. Yeah, it's volatile. So the whole thing uh, there are some tasks that can still cannot be done entirely by computers, then still need a physical human body to actually do them. So whenever there's some sort of failure and or bug, systems bug or error, the consequences will not be so critical, since yeah, since the things that are managed by the computer are usually things that are relatively low risk in terms of failure. Then there's the of a geopolitical condition. To put it simply, it's basically just like North Korea. There are no free trade, and there is no ships going in and out of the country. And then there's lastly is the shipping lane changes. As you can see, the left is well, as you can see on the left is the map in the 1700. It's basically the part of the Eastern Asia is, well, practically there's not many shipping lane, but nowadays, yeah, apart from the Eastern Asia, such as China or Japan or Korea, it's very crowded. So this shows the dynamism and all the changes in traffic, shipping lane traffic. So last is the conclusion. So ship management itself is a form of a service that manages the whole thing regarding the operation of ship and anything that falls on the crew or even the papers around them. The models of ship management, there are two. The traditional, which everything is managed by one company under one supervisor, and the last one is things of the shipping during when the shipping experiences a oceanic journey on board the vessel, obviously. Then there's marketing ship management, because well, in essence, the whole ship management is a product, yes, as well as a service that need to be marketed so people will know them and will use them. And then there's the relation in ship management. Well, obviously, the everything, just like everything, relation is very important, and it can really change how a company would be chosen or not, depending on the relation of this company. And then there's the ship management for cruise ships. Even though a cruise ship and a merchant ship are, or basically a vessel, a ship, the aspect that I need to manage are slightly different at most, or even no, it was there's some difference between the two. Then there's the quality of ship's personnel. Well, obviously all the ships are powered by people, by men, by this personnel, so the ship can only operate as good as the crew that operates them. That's to put it simply. And last but not least is the technological revolution. Like everything, technology will always innovate, it will revolutionize everything. So it is our job to know about it, to invent them, and most importantly, to adapt to any changes, so we not get left behind. Yes, and these are the references that are used throughout the whole presentation. Uh, this is the second one. I thank you very much for your attention, and yeah, thank you and goodbye.